Hey guys, welcome back to Paradise. So I recently just posted a video about insects in the camper and how to keep them out, and somebody actually commented and was wondering about mice and how do we keep mice out of the vehicle and the camper. So some of the biggest tips that I have are, one, get dogs. Dogs are the best thing to keep rodents out. They usually patrol around all day and they pee everywhere, so then most rodents kind of just stay away. We have had mice in the engine before, and we've had one big rat, but it really wasn't too big of a deal. They've never really had anybody do anything, any mice do anything in the engine, like chew the wires or anything. They usually just kind of build a nest and then they just kind of leave. Whenever we start the vehicle, they kind of go away. But we did have a rat down below one time kind of live on my skid plate, so that was different. That was a fun one to get out. But so dogs are the first thing you should use. Second off, don't stay in a spot for very long. If you move every couple days, they usually don't find it enticing to go there. Usually they like it right away, especially in the winter because your engine's warm, so they go in there and try to hang out and build a nest. But once you usually move the vehicle, they scatter. So that seems to work pretty good. And also we have a lot of different lighting options. We used to have like a light bulb that you could plug into your solar panel, so it was solar powered, and it had like an SOS mode. And I usually just like closed the lid and sat it in there, and then it would flash. And that seemed to keep a lot of things out, because they do sell like the mice deterrents and rat deterrents that sit in your engine. Some of them like hook them up to your battery, and then it like sends out a signal and stuff, and then it has a light and all these things. So I just figured I would just use a light and see what it did, and they usually stay out of the engine then. And we also have like these little lights that you can hang up and put them in there. That works pretty well. And another big thing we do is just keep the hood open, especially if it's not windy or raining or anything. You can just keep the hood completely open, because the reason the mice and rats like it in the engine is, one, because it's warm, and two, because it's enclosed. So when it's enclosed, it's a nice kind of like little cave for them to live in. So when you leave the hood open, the air kind of flows through it and makes it not as a suitable home for them to hang out in. So those are my tips to keep them out of the engine. In the camper, we've never had one in the camper, so that's not very a big deal because it's pretty sealed as long as they're not crawling through the door. We don't leave the door open. We just have the screen, or coming in on the dogs for some reason. So that's not an issue. We do have them a decent amount in the wheel wells. So with a truck camper, it sits in between the wheel wells of the truck, and they seem to like to crawl up in there because there's really nothing I can do in there to keep them from staying in there, because so we have an older camper, so it doesn't fit the newer trucks perfectly, so we have to like build up a platform for it. So there's like gaps everywhere where mice can go in there. So in order to get them out, I literally have to take the camper off. So it's a huge ordeal, but there's really nothing in there for them to get at, so I just kind of leave them. But thanks, Cuckoo. He's kicking up tons of pumice dust. So yeah, besides that, and sometimes I stick the light down in there as well, and that kind of flashes and it keeps them away. I did try like peppermint oil. I seen some people doing that in tea tree, and dryer sheets and stuff like that. I don't know if that actually works or not. I think the light thing works the most, and the dogs. So now that we got our little Soli, she's a rat catcher, so she keeps them out pretty good. So there you go, guys. There's some tips on how to keep mice out of your engine and out of your camper as well. Hope you found it helpful. If you have any more questions about living on the road or anything like that, just leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, see you guys next time.